Just say welcome. Welcome to practice. We are going to be using a block for the latter portion of the standing part of the practice today. So I would have that just within hand's reach, or we're going to start seated and we'll be there for a few minutes. So if you like to sit on the block for more comfort, then you can do that as well. So I'm going to sit on my block. And I am calling this practice monotasking, which is a sort of linguistic turning of its head from multitasking, which we hear about all the time. So multitasking, of course, is doing multiple things all at once. It is my belief and the belief of others in the mindfulness community that multitasking is one of the greatest myths of our time, that it's not actually a real thing. You cannot do it. And so monotasking is much closer to what's actually realistically possible, which is that we can really always only do one thing at a time. And that's what we're going to focus on doing today. We're going to give particular anatomical attention to these 10 little digits on the edges of our hands, and be doing a lot of play on our fingertips today and all sorts of fun positions. So let's start in a comfortable seated position, feeling rooted through the pelvis, nice and tall through the spine. And as we often do, just acknowledging this transitional moment as we come into the practice more formally. Maybe we take a brief assessment of how we're doing physically, if there's any part of the body that might need to be dealt with more tenderly today. But also checking in with the state of the mind. Are you feeling somewhat agitated and scattered, or are you feeling pretty centered and calm? And it doesn't even have to be that kind of a binary, just a simple witnessing of things as they are in this moment. And we're going to open this practice with a very simple breathing practice that incorporates finger stretching. So to do this, we're going to take the right hand, lift it off of your lap or your thighs, turn the palm to face up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to use the left hand to just gently hold onto your right pinky finger, and then draw your right pinky finger down and back towards the top of the hand. And you'll take a full breath here, breathing in and out while stretching the pinky finger. And we'll do one breath per finger. So once you complete that breath, moving on to the ring finger, drawing it down and back, and taking that natural breath in and out. And you just continue at your own pace, moving through one finger per breath. Noticing that some fingers have a little bit more receptivity to the stretch than others. Some fingers stretch may feel a little bit more sharp or intense than others. And once you finish the right hand, you just continue to transition to the left, beginning again with the pinky finger, and just continuing one breath per finger stretch. And we'll be asking a lot of these little digits on the end of our palms. So starting the practice this way is a really nice way to just check in if you feel any tightness or tenderness, knowing you might have to be a little more careful with that finger or hand. And also just greeting this part of the body that we're going to be working with today. Once you've completed all 10 breaths, you can gently release and just take a brief little shaking of the hands. You can blink open the eyes. We're going to make our way into an all fours position. You can just put the block at the front of your mat. And we're going to start with cat and cows, but with a slightly non-traditional hand placement. So I want you to place your right palm forward traditionally. I'm just showing this forward so you can see it. Your left palm is going to be fingertips facing back, but the seam of the wrists is in line with each other. So right fingertips forward, left fingertips facing back or as close to back as possible. And then you'll begin to move through your cat and your cow, dropping the abdomen, lifting the chin for your cow, and then pushing the floor away and rounding into your cat. We'll just take about, 6 or so, 5 or 6 rounds in this position. And as you move through the cat and cow with this unique placement of the palms, I want you to just gently hug or grab the mat with the pads of your fingers. So you're just aware of the very end of the fingertips, being alert on the mat. Now the next time you pass through center, pause. And we're going to walk all 10 fingertips to face the long edge of the mat. So left fingertips face the left long edge, right fingertips face the right long edge, and then resuming your cat and cow. And I often find that in this particular variation, I have a really different experience of the way that my shoulder blades move on my back, which makes these cat and cows feel quite distinct in my upper back. Take about 1 or 2 more in this position. And then the next time you find a neutral position with your spine, we'll switch sides. Left fingertips face forward, right fingertips face back or as close to back as possible. And then you resume the cat and the cow. And again, as you look down, the kind of edges of the wrist or the back of the wrist should be in the same line with one another, even though the fingertips of the left and right hands are facing in opposite directions. Keep that awareness in the pads of the fingers. Just 1 or 2 more here. And then we'll find a neutral position with the spine. Bring all 10 fingertips facing forward in a traditional tabletop position. And then super gluing your elbows straight, I want you to just drop your heart towards the floor. Feel the shoulder blades come together. Then push the mat away and feel the upper back broaden. Do that 3 more times. Drop the heart and push away. And twice more, drop and push and drop and push. Find a neutral position where you're neither dropping nor pushing, and then pop up onto your right fingertips, followed by your left fingertips, then down on the right palm and down on the left. Twice more through that. Up on right, up on left, down on right, down on left. Last time, up, left, down, right, down, left. Shift forward to a half plank position, elbows straight back. 3 half chaturangas as you lower down, push back up half plank. Twice more, elbows straight back, strong triceps lift. Last time, drop down, push away. This time, drop all the way to the floor, lengthen your arms alongside you, palms facing down. As you inhale, lift your head, your neck, your chest, your shoulders. Kind of the first part of Shalabhasana, locust pose. On your next in-breath, lift the arms away from the mat. Palms are still facing down. Fingertips are reaching back. Next, inhale, add on the legs. Full Shalabhasana, locust pose. Exhale, palms underneath the shoulders. Press up to your first downward facing dog. Welcoming in any movement, allowing it to be a true kind of dialogue with the body. Really conversational as you take any movement that feels good. And then we'll take that little sequence on the second side. So softly lowering the knees back onto the mat. And we'll begin with those heart drops and lifts. So elbows stay fully straight as you drop the heart, scapula move together. Push the mat away, scapula move apart. 3 more, drop. I'm just taking off my sweater and push. 2 more, drop the heart and push away. Last one, drop and push. Find that neutral position of the scapula on the back, then pop up onto left fingertips, followed by right. Left palm down, right palm down. Continue left and right, focusing on one thing at a time. Pop up on left, pop up on right, lower left, lower right, shift forward, half plank, 3 chaturangas, lower, and push up. Your gaze is slightly forward, push up. Last time, push up, lower all the way to the floor. You could repeat Shalabhasana or interlace the hands behind your back. Straighten the elbows, draw the knuckles towards the back of your space. Inhale, continue to lift head, neck, shoulders, and chest. You could keep the legs down or add on lifting the legs. Sarpasana, the snake pose. One more full breath in. Releasing the hands gently, pressing up, downward facing dog. We're going to do one more thing in our warm-up today, which is really going to be laying the foundation for some play we're going to do throughout the practice. So listen carefully here as you lift your head, look slightly forward, and slide your left palm almost to the middle of your mat, but not quite. Then drop your head back towards your feet at the back of your mat. Slide your right hand back. Right fingertips are facing your right foot. Shift your weight into your right foot. And then flip onto the top of your left foot. Point the left foot so the toenail side of your left foot is on the mat. Hold for one more breath. And then flip the left foot, bring it back to the mat, slide the right palm forward. We'll switch sides. Got a little tongue twisted. Lift your head, right hand to the center of the mat. Look back, left hand slides back, fingertips face the left foot. Shift the weight slightly, flip the right foot so that your toenail side is on the mat. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. Then flip that right foot back down, slide the left hand forward, look to the front of the mat. Walk your feet to the front of your space as we start to prepare to come into some sun salutations. We find our Uttanasana at the front of our mat. And we start to build our first half salutation. Fingertips to shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Sweeping the arms out and up. Hands to heart center. We'll do 2 half salutations. Sweep the arms out and up. When you get there, bend your elbows and create like a picture frame, holding on to opposite elbows. Inhale, standing tall. As you exhale, lean to the right, maybe gently pulling on that left elbow to just create a little exclamation point on that stretch. Inhale through center. Other direction, lean to your left, maybe a slight pull on that right elbow. Inhale back up to center. Now I want you to think of leading with your elbows. As you draw the elbows back, the heart lifts up, finding a standing back bend. Inhale up to center, release the arms, reach tall. Exhale, fold over the legs. We're going to take a monkey pose here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Slide the palms facing up underneath your feet so that the toes are at the bend of the wrists. Take a full breath here. Let the head hang, the elbows soften. Next time you breathe in, release the palms of the hands. Inhale, lift up half. Exhale, release. Sweeping those arms out and up. Hands to heart center. We'll do one more exactly like that. Inhale out and up. Create that picture frame, hold opposite elbows. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, keep your head in the center of that picture frame as you lean to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, lean to your left. Inhale, center. Lead with the arms. Lift through the heart, soften through the back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Monkey pose, palms slide underneath the soles of the feet. Take a full breath, relax the head and lengthen the back of the neck. Next, in-breath, release the hands, half lift. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms out and up. Hands to heart center, 2 Surya Namaskaram A. Nothing funny, just the Surya Namaskaram that you know and you love. Sweep the arms out and up. Not going to do any add-ons here. Fold forward. Totally classic half lift, stepping or walking it back to your plank pose. You could take a half chaturanga or a full, you decide. Either a cobra like I'm doing or an up dog. A downward facing dog where we'll pause for 3 breaths. So as I mentioned in the opening, we are really turning the idea of multitasking on its head in this practice, and instead cultivating the idea of monotasking. 1 breath, 1 movement at a time with our full attention. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, walking, stepping, or hopping. Inhale, half lift with your full attention. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rising up to your mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more Surya A. Inhale it up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plank. Same exhale is your chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog for 3. Giving every breath, every asana your full attention. Knowing that ultimately the only thing you have any control over whatsoever is what you're doing right now. As you inhale, lift the head, look forward, walking, stepping, or hopping the feet. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, fold. Sweeping the arms out and up. We're going to start to move into a lunge salutation, hands to heart center. So it's the structure of a lunge salutation with several poses kind of threaded in the middle. Okay, so we'll stay at the front of the mat. We'll have ourselves in our mountain pose with the arms alongside us. Give ourselves just a breath here to stabilize, breathing in normally and breathing out normally. And then we're going to start by bringing the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, drop the knuckles down, lift the heart, find a standing back bend. Then keep this bind as you fold forward and let the arms wash up and overhead. If this is a little bit too intense, try separating the palms while keeping the fingertips interlaced. Now for this first round, we're going to take a couple extra breaths here, and I'm going to encourage you to shrug your shoulders away from your earlobes, and then see now if you can wash and release the arms overhead just a little bit deeper. Maybe shift the weight slightly more towards the toes. Last in breath here. And then as you exhale, without kind of snapping the hands apart, softly release the hands down to the mat. We're going to lead with your left foot. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Let your left knee find the surface of the mat. And then we're going to bring our hands up behind our head, elbows wide. We're going to lean forward into a diagonal position with the torso. And then as you inhale, lift your elbows towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, draw the inner elbows together as if they would touch. Do 3 more of those kind of butterfly flaps. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. 2 more, inhale, open, and close. Last one, open, and close. Inhale, open. Keep the elbows open, the hands behind the head. Lift the torso, challenging your balance as you step your right knee back next to your left. Camel pose with a different variation of the arms. Draw the elbows forward. Lift the elbows up and back as you start to find a camel position, Ustrasana, for 2. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, lift up through the heart. Release the arms up to the ceiling. Come forward to a half plank position. When you get there, pop up on your right fingertips, followed by your left fingertips. Inhale, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, chaturanga on the fingertips down to the mat. Bring your fingertips off the mat and wide. Inhale, cobra pose, elbows slightly bent. Exhale, release. Palms underneath your shoulders. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Bring your left hand slightly to the center of the mat.
Slide and reach your right arm back, right fingertips face your right toes. Shift the weight to the right foot and flip onto the toenail side of the left foot. Option to play with floating your left leg towards the ceiling for 2. For 1. Left foot comes down, wasn't that fun? Right hand comes forward. Vinyasa, shift forward to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Looking forward, left foot forward, right knee down. Now this second side, we're just doing a lunge. We're going to do that sequence the second time around. So sweep your arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot forward and fold. Inhale, standing all the way up to mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that's the sequence. We're going to do it on the second side, and then we'll do it once more on each side of the body. Here we go. Release the arms, interlace the fingers. Inhale, drop the knuckles, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward, arms up and overhead. Give yourself an inhale here. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, let the fold go a little deeper. Gently release the hands. We'll lead with the right foot back, right knee down. Hands behind the head, elbows wide, torso at the diagonal. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And open. And close. And 2. And close. And last one, open. And close. We open up, we lift the torso, we get our balance, we step back. Ustrasana, elbows forward, up and back, cradling the head 2. 1 in-breath. Coming out of the back bend, arms reach up. You come forward to half plank. You pop up on left fingertips, then up on right fingertips. Elbows go straight back as you slow and controlled lower to the mat. Fingertips wide, lifting up cobra position. Inhale. Exhale, release. Palms underneath you. Find your downward facing dog. When you get there, slide the right palm a little bit towards the midline. Reach that left hand back. Fingertips face the left foot. Flip onto the toenail side of the right foot. When you have your balance, start playing with lifting that right leg. 2. 1 more in-breath. Right foot down, left hand forward. Vinyasa plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. We keep the flow moving. Right foot forward, left knee down. Just 1 in-breath, arms up. Hands down, step left foot forward. Standing up, Tadasana. Hands to heart center. 1 more of that on each side. Here we go. Hands behind you, knuckles drop, heart lifts. And fold. Give yourself an in-breath and an out-breath. Release the hands. Left foot back. Maybe do a high lunge this time. Hands behind the head, torso at the diagonal. Inhale, open. And close. And open. And 3. And open. And 2. And open. And 1. Wherever you are, open. Ustrasana again. Left knee down, right knee back. Finding that camel pose just like the last time around. 1 more deep breath, maybe seeing that wall behind you. Then coming up, either half or maybe full plank this time. Pop up on right fingertips. Pop up on left fingertips. Elbows straight back, chaturanga. To the floor. Cobra with fingertips wide off the mat. Inhale. And release. Downward facing dog, playing with that balance. Left hand towards the midline. Right arm back, fingertips face the right foot. Flip onto the toenail side of the left foot. Play with that extension and lift for 2. For 1. Left foot down, right arm forward. Vinyasa forward. Chaturanga. And up. And back. Left foot forward. Arms up. You could drop that back knee if you want. Close it out. Right foot meets the left. Tadasana. Heart center. Last time through. Knuckles down. Heart lifts up. Washing up and over. Take your in-breath here. Enjoy your out-breath. Gentle release of the hands. Right foot steps back. Maybe keep the knee lifted. Hands behind the head, torso diagonal, elbows open. They close. And open. And 3. And open. I know I'm counting, but are you actually breathing? And close. Last time to open, wherever you are, drop the right knee, then step that left knee back. You know what you're doing, elbows forward, up and back. Maybe seeing just that next rung of the wall behind you. Coming up, either half or full plank, you decide. When you get there, left fingertips, right fingertips, elbows straight back, chaturanga, to the floor. Fingertips wide, cobra lift, and release. Palms underneath you, down dog. Left hand to the middle of the mat, right hand reaches back, except that's wrong. Right hand to the middle of the mat, left hand back. You're going to flip onto the toenail side of the right foot, get your balance, and then start to play with that lift for 2. One more inhale. Right foot down, left hand forward, Vinyasa forward, Chaturanga, and up and back. And right foot forward, 1 in-breath up, left foot meets, and fold. Close it out. Hands to heart center. Release the arms. Close the eyes. Pause. Notice your heart beating. Notice your breath. It's probably a little bit quicker, but with every breath, it's slowing down a little bit. Allowing yourself to just focus on the breath for 2 more rounds. Then blinking open the eyes. I want you to look down and make sure that your block is within hand's reach, because we're going to grab it when we're building our Warrior One. So have it near the front of your mat. And we're going to start in downward facing dog. I'm going to kind of walk you there from the front of your mat. So you can start in Tadasana. And we'll just take a nice breath in to reach the arms up. A breath out to fold over the legs. No need to Vinyasa here. We're just going to walk the feet back to downward facing dog. We're going to start to build a Warrior One, but we're really focusing on the work of the shoulders in this particular practice today. So you're going to lift your head, look forward, step the right foot in between the thumbs, and then spin your left heel down 45 degrees. Now before you grab your block, I want you to draw your right femur back and lift your left inner thigh towards the ceiling. Now grab your block, place it in between your palms, lift your torso, and reach your palm forward until it's parallel to the floor. Now I want you to imagine that your elbows are cemented straight. They cannot bend. But I want you to try to pull the block towards you, and you're going to feel your shoulder blades move together on the back. That's what I want you to feel. One more breath there. Now the scapula, move this way on the back. So you're going to lift your block 45 degrees up and pause. And you're going to feel how your scapula, they went just like this on your back. So there's a little bit more space in between them. Breathe there. Next, inhale, lift the block all the way overhead, or as close to overhead as you can comfortably get. Notice if the right hip is creeped forward. Keep plugging that right thigh back, left inner thigh up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Then you're going to sweep your hands behind you. See if you can hold on to the block behind your back. Lean into, you're going to come into warrior three. So you're leaning forward, launch forward, and find flight for 3, for 2. You're going to step back to a high lunge, left foot at the back of the mat. Just lower your block to the floor. Side plank, left hand down, pivot onto the pinky side edge of left foot. You could do a supported or stack right foot on left. Look up towards your right hand. Drop your right fingertips back so that the right palm of your hand faces the ceiling. Take one more breath there. Turn your head, look at the mat. Bring your right fingertips onto the mat. Pivot into a plank with just your right fingertips on the mat and left palm is flat, like traditional. One more inhale here. Keep the same thing with your hands, but just lift to down dog. Hips up, walk the feet in. Down dog with right fingertips tented. Walk both of your feet 1 foot's length forward. And then you're going to lift same leg as the hand that's tented. So in this case, right leg is going to lift up like a 3-legged dog. Lift your head, look in between your hands. Rise up onto the ball of your left foot and stack your shoulders over your wrists. So it's almost like a handstand prep for 1. And there's only 1. So step back to plank. Lower that right hand, Vinyasa. Up dog. Down dog, we immediately go to the second side. Step the left foot forward. Spin the right heel down. Locate your block. Lift it up parallel to the floor. 3 breaths here. Remember, elbows are cemented straight. Pull the block towards you. Yes. Start to lift that block 45 degrees and pause. To me, this is the hardest one. I find it easier either straight ahead or overhead. And then all the way up, or as close to all the way up as possible. And here, I want you to imagine you're reaching for something that's just out of reach, so you get as long as you can through the sides of the body, but you keep the inner neck relaxed. Lower the block down to the mat. Side plank, right hand down, pivot onto the right outer foot. Find your side plank. When you get there, drop the left fingertips back so the left palm faces the ceiling. 1 full in-breath there. Exhale, left fingertips to mat. Plank on the left fingertips. Give yourself a full inhale. Exhale, transition to down dog on your left fingertips. Walk your feet forward, either a half or full foot's length. Left leg is going to float up 3-legged dog. Lift the gaze, rise up onto the ball of the right foot, stack your shoulders over your wrists for 1 full breath in and 1 full breath out. Then release, step back to classic plank and move through Vinyasa. You're going to get a child's pose here, so it's coming. Drop the knees, shift back to child's. For today, bring your arms back alongside you. Let your shoulders roll forward and droop towards the mat. So we are going to do that sequence one more time on each side. It's only going to be one movement or one pose per breath. So it will feel a little bit quicker this second time through. And even though it's going to feel a little bit quicker, we're continuing to monotask. It's one breath, one pose at a time. So really trying not to get ahead of yourself. We'll start to build ourselves back into downward facing dog as you reach your arms forward, tuck the toes, find your Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then we'll start with that second side. So we're going to look forward, step the right foot forward, spin the left heel down. Find your block, lift up, pull the block towards you. One breath in and one breath out. Lift 45 degrees, take your breath in and out. Overhead, again, like you're reaching through the outer arms, but relax through the sides of the neck. Then I release my block down, side plank, left hand down, right arm up. Drop the fingertips back, palm faces the ceiling. Maybe I let my right arm float back a little bit more nerve flossing there. Look down at the mat, right fingertips to mat, plank on my right fingertips. Down dog on my right fingertips. Walk my feet forward. Shift the weight to the left. Right leg up, three-legged dog. Look forward, rise to the ball of my left foot. Stack my shoulders over my wrists. Breathe in. And then as I exhale, walk out and take my vinyasa. Feel my back bend. Enjoy the down dog. Last time through. Left foot forward, right heel down. Grab and lift the block, parallel to the floor, and out. 45 degrees. Overhead. Release the block, side plank. Once you get stable, left fingertips back. Maybe the left arm floats back a little. Look down at the mat, fingertips in my plank. Left fingertips in my down dog. Walk the feet forward 1 foot's length. Left leg, three-legged. Look forward, rise on the ball of the right foot, breath in. Final vinyasa of the practice, flowing it out. And up, knees down, hips to heels. So give yourself and your wrists a little bit of a break while I tell you what we've been culminating towards. So as you may have guessed or suspected, we are going to work with handstand with the option to pop up onto one fingertip. Now there's a few ways to work with this. One, I would definitely suggest using a wall, unless you're a gymnast that's just super comfortable being upside down, which is not me. You can kick up, traditional handstand. You're gonna let yourself slide a little bit to whatever side, and then pop up onto the fingertips. The hardest part is the transition. And then you'll lower yourself down. Now, if that is nowhere in the game plan today, you're going to do an L shape with the same experimentation onto one fingertip. So you would come hands forward, create the right angle with the body, lean a little bit, and then pop up. And then you walk down and take a little rest before you do the second side. Okay, so this is kind of open play time because everybody has different needs here. Start to set up for what you want, either kicking up or doing your L shape. I'm gonna do 2 rounds of 45 seconds, and that's going to start in about 6 seconds. Okay? So getting ready in 3, 2, and the time has started for the first upside down round, whatever that looks like for you. When you get stable upside down, let yourself shift a little bit to one side, and then it's a little bit of a quick pop onto the fingertips, and then you can redistribute the weight a little bit. Just about 6 more seconds in this first round. 3. And then come down to either a child's pose or an uttanasana. You might even shake the wrists or kind of roll them out a little bit. And the second round is going to start in about 10 seconds. You could do the same thing as you did for round 1, or you could try something else for round 2, which is starting in 3, 2, 1. So I'm watching the clock, getting yourself upside down. One side is inevitably going to feel quite a bit more confident than the other. Wherever you are, smooth, steady breaths. 11. 6 more seconds. And then coming out of that upside down, we are all going to meet on our backs with both our legs and our arms extended up towards the ceiling for the very classic tantrum asana. So reach the arms and the hands up towards the ceiling, and for 30 seconds, just shake everything out. Shake wrists, shake ankles, shake elbows, shake knees, shake fast, shake slow. There's really no rules. You can shake side to side, forward and back. You can shake in circles. About 5 more seconds. Just keep shaking. Don't question it. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. We're going to take a nice little L shape here. So I want you to reach your arms overhead. Your palms are going to face the ceiling. And then it doesn't have to be super rigorous, just a soft extension of the legs up towards the ceiling. And just kind of feel that kind of weightless feeling of the legs floating. Feel the back of the body landing on the mat after all that upside down time. And then let the knees soften a little bit more. Take your arms out into a T position. Let the legs fall to the right. And then I want you to think of like a really gentle pike as you either partially or fully extend the legs towards straightening. And this isn't a super long twist, just one more full breath here. And then we'll gently make our way to the other side, bending the knees, letting the legs just kind of swing through center and over to the left. And then extending the legs kind of towards the intention of being straight, like a pike, but it can still be very soft. And then letting the knees come back in towards the center. We'll make our way into about a 90-second Shavasana, extending the legs and the arms. Making any final adjustments with the physical body so that for this brief period of time you can be still. As we breathe in, we realize that we can only take in one in-breath at a time. And as we breathe out, we realize we can only exhale one breath at a time. We breathe in the awareness that multitasking is a story that we've been told. And we breathe out, releasing that story. We breathe in, allowing ourselves one simple breath. And we breathe out the awareness of one simple breath. And then as we bring this practice to a close, we allow the breath to become slightly more energizing. We welcome in some subtle movement. And then eventually, in our own way and time, we return to a comfortable seat. We bring the palms of the hands together, and we close with the request that the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light, which sounds like these 4 words in Sanskrit. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Victory to all of our practices. Cha.